What's needed at this point with all these sort of shifts in our social and economic structures to really help the unemployment factor in education?
I think that the key thing is to acknowledge that we have a growth model that produces inequality. And on that basis, we have to take a look at how can we change that growth model so that it produces more balance, more social justice, and better results for all. Now that essentially means concentrating on making the growth model produce jobs. Today what you have is a growth model that is very much concentrated and managed by the financial sector because it's more profitable. So it's more profitable to invest in a financial product than to invest in a real economy company. Financial products don't create jobs, not really important jobs. Real economy companies produce jobs. So you need a shift, and you have to put the financial economy at the service of the real economy. That's the reason for which it was created in the first place. Then you have to do what we do here. If we generate sufficient volumes of jobs, then you need to make sure that the education that kids get are adapted to what the demands from the markets are going to be. So the linkage between education and jobs is very important, but if the jobs are not there, then you wind up lawyers driving taxis, which we see all over the world. And the third issue is that we have to acknowledge that this is about balances. And we have a world economy and a global economy that is out of sync. So we need a better balance between the regulatory and public policy setting of the state, the creative and wealth creation capacity of the markets, the need to hear the voice of society, and the individual needs of human beings like you and I and those that are listening to us who have hopes and aspirations. You've got to balance all of that. Today it's unbalanced in favor of the economy and markets. You have to balance the economic with the social and the environmental. Today the economy is in balance in favor of financial markets. You've got to reestablish that balance. You need a balance between capital and labor. Today it's in balance in favor of capital. So we need to take a look at all of these different issues and see how we bring balance to the technical solutions that we need in order to have a growth that produces jobs and doesn't hurt the environment. So this is what needs to be done, and you can only do it if you have the clarity of the problem that you want to deal with, and at the same time the capacity of putting together the governments with the business sector, with the trade unions, with the civil society in a common push towards I would say a decent work world, a world in which people can have confidence that those that have the capacity to take decisions are thinking about them. And in thinking about them, they're saying, look, why don't we try to do as much as we can, and obviously we can with the resources that we have, as much as we can in order to give people a fair chance at a decent job. The opportunities. We talk about opportunities, a lot about opportunities, the opportunities are not there.
How can these private companies be more incentivized, rather other than obviously corporate social responsibility, which is really an individual thing of the company? How can they be more incentivized to help, for example, least developed countries?
Well, I think that you're asking that question to the right person. I happen to be the Director General of the International Labour Organization. It's the only institution since 1919, when we were created, that has governments, business, and labor. And governments are not there sort of saying, well, could you business and labor people tell us what you think so that we can take decisions, which is the consultative process that we have today. Business and labor, employees and workers have a part of the decision-making process. In my governing body, I have 14 representative of employers, 14 of workers, and 28 governments, and they take the decisions together. So my answer, obviously, it's indispensable to have the business world in this picture, and particularly the real economy business world, because there is today dysfunctionality in the way the financial system and the real economy are working. The financial system is taking away resources that should be going to the real economy companies that produce the jobs that people and communities need. So yes, these are the sorts of issues that are discussed well in the Global Economic Forum, in the International Chamber of Commerce, in the International Organization of Employers, but you need the breakthrough. You need the business leadership that can say, look, social justice is good, fairness is good, fairness is good for business, social justice is good for the societies in which we work, and it's consequently good for us.